Girl, what's going? I love that intro. Welcome back to another episode of the Dare Show podcast. On the Dare Show podcast, I want to dare you to look at things through a different point of view, a different perspective, which is my perspective, which always isn't so popular or whatever. Um, Christmas is it canceled? Just you. I cracked up when I read that. That's Kelly Clarkson's new single. It'll be out. I forget what she said. The 23rd or 26th of this month. I think it's the 26th. And now we see with Kelly, she's already starting her ex-husband bashing campaign, ex-husband bashing lyrics. I see. That's what I'm getting from just the title. She looked kind of great on the cover. It's a very simple cover. So we'll see what that is all about. She did say, what did she say? She did say she was writing a bunch of music, and this is the most like real music, not real music, like the most connected music that she has had. So it's like, okay, I didn't know we were going we were going into the Christmas theme. Um, yeah, everybody doing Christmas music is kind of exhausting, but here we are again, another year, another Christmas song. So Kelly is doing that. Beyonce, Beyonce released some behind the scenes of her Tiffany. Um, I don't know if she actually did, but it was some behind the scenes of her Tiffany commercial released. And I love those moments. She really made me appreciate growing up behind the scenes moments because she would give a ton of footage, always give a ton of footage, always a ton of raw footage, just like her speaking or, her dancing and the creation of her projects, which was like, it's really one of my favorite things. It's one of the reasons why I do love like behind the scenes moments or stories behind the scenes, stuff like that. But she was like at the piano and she was talking to the camera and she was like, 20 years, 20 years next year. I think she said we've been together. But it's like, okay, cool. We're finally getting like some actual mouth to audio footage, information about, the secret, quote unquote, secret relationship between her and Jay-Z, which kind of, people speculate. We really don't really know what's really going on, which, not that we should, but it's just like very interesting that she decided to say that. So 20 years, this is 2021, so 2002 is when they started dating, I'm guessing. Interesting. Oh, that's even before like Crazy in Love came out. So she was like, for real, for real. For real, for real. I'm not feeling so great, so I'm not gonna sing a whole bunch. Anyways, hopefully this is like allergies or something. Patricia LaBelle. Miss Patty. Miss Patty is the Carters, they're like Europe touring right now. I think they've been in like Italy for the past like 3 or 4 days. They have been in Italy for the past like 3 or 4 days, and then now I believe they're in France. I think they're Europe hopping for Miss Giselle's birthday. Happy birthday! Like everybody's there. Solange, Angie, Kelly, not Michelle though. Maybe Michelle will catch up with them. Like, hopefully, we get a Michelle spotting. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very salty because I'm like, Michelle is never in the mix. Michelle is always like over there. It's never all three of them. It's always like two of them. It's either Kelly and Beyonce, Kelly and Michelle, it's never like all three of them. So it's just like, ugh. But Michelle did the national anthem, I think for the like not Super Bowl. For the what's it called? Like the football game or something. She did a really good job. She did really good. She looked delicious. She looked amazing. Shout out to Michelle. I had just like one of my Facebook memories came up and I was like I typed out the lyrics to Unexpected, I think it was. Yeah, Unexpected. And I was like, oh wow. Unexpected was over 10 years ago. Where has the time gone? Such a great album. It would be cool if she did like more songs, or she did like an accused, like a little like memory, back down memory lane for Unexpected, because Unexpected is a really great album. But anyways, Miss Patty, her first show in forever, and she sounded and looked very great. Um, She had like a little mini skirt on with like a cute moo cutout situation. It was really cute. She looked really good. I don't know where she was. I think she was in Vegas. And I don't know if she did like I'm guessing she did a full show. But like, if only you knew, Over the Rainbow. She sounded so good on my own with I was about to call him Johnny Blaze. What's his name? I keep forgetting his name. I'm looking right at his face. Anyways, she's been touring her with her for the past like 3 or 4 years. Uh, Tone, the gospel singer, his former name is something. Okay, I'm forgetting. Anyways, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But Miss Patty. Shout out to her. I think in a couple of days, on like the 18th, because I know she said she had a Vegas show. That might have been the Vegas show. So in 3 days, which is going to be Saturday, 16th, 17th, okay, maybe Sunday. We're gonna get, she's going on tour. I think it's like 6 dates, 4 or 5, 6 dates. So we're gonna get it back popping. Hopefully she comes through like she said she was gonna come through with the new set list. Not completely new set list, but the new set list. I'm here for her doing All the Men I Need. I think that's one of the songs she said. Oh, I want to bring that back. Hopefully she brings some good songs back. Patty loves her fans. She loves the interaction with her fans. And on Lady Marmalade, she usually brings up 3 guys. So because of the pandemic and restrictions and stuff and safety, she it's just like watching people dance. She's actually singing more in Lady Marmalade, and she sounds so good. It kind of forces her to do it instead of like interact with the fans and have them, you know, have her give a little break. A funny, entertaining moment still, but yeah. So we'll see how much more this goes on. I thought she was at least gonna like bring. I think they could be creative and like have people on stage separate or apart, like or even like off stage, like at the at the end of the stage, like where the front row is, have like 3 separate people, dudes apart, have them each have a microphone. I think there's still an element of like her show she can bring, hold out the mic. I think it could be cool. I think they could do that because I'm sure everybody isn't wearing a mask in the audience. Any more funny news? I don't think so. She's been very, I guess rehearsing and low key and looking so cute. Nothing else I can think of. So recently, or actually this morning, I came across and finished because I had started it. Candy Burris's A Mother's Love. Now, A Mother's Love. What do I say about this? I This was like what, 6 years ago, 7 years ago at this point, and it was her first show. I understand the bad ratings. I completely do. There's definitely better musicals out there. Although, she's written and produced the show. I was taken aback. I thought it was going to be a little bit better. The acting was like, the acting, I would give it like a 7. Everybody's acting, I would give it a 7. And I think because there weren't like actual actors, they're mostly like singers like Shirley Murdoch and Eddie Levert and, Candy, Portia, D Woods, the dude from 112. I think that's the reason why that's like half the cast. So, and then it's like certain characters weren't there the whole time. So I'm like, okay, you guys are traveling. Are you guys, you're traveling just for like, 20 minutes on stage? Eddie Levert, he came at the very end. He's a headliner. I'm sure he's getting a lot of money. So I'm like, he's getting a lot of money just for like 20 minutes on stage too. Like, oh, okay. It had an interesting storyline. Some parts were like drawn out way too long, I think. Like, let's wrap this up. And then some like movements and motions on stage, the interaction or like the dramatic moments, I feel like they tried to bring like a movie element to a stage play. They tried to make it like stage, where like in the movie theater, or for like a movie, you can like edit and green screen and edit, blah, 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 close up, wide shot, that kind of stuff. But it was just kind of weird. It was weird. Some of the music is really good. You could tell one of the songs Shirley Murdoch sings is "A Mother's Love." It's called "A Mother's Love," and one of the songs, you could tell Candy wrote that song because, like, it was sort of the keys were kind of the notes were kind of Candy-esque. The hit your note, hit your key. Yeah, the key was kind of like in Candy's key, which is a little bit lower. Candy's singing was like, okay, so I think they're called like the honeybees or the beehive or whatever, and they're like this group. The older, like Candy's mother, was a part of this group with her other aunt, and the group sounded amazing. I don't know who the other lady was, but it was the one lady from Tyler Perry's play, Shirley Murdoch, and then this other lady. And I don't know if they had like backgrounds or it was like, extra vocals in there, but they sounded so good. Uh, they did like a song together and they sounded so good. But then, you had Candy, D Woods, and Portia Williams as like this younger group, and they didn't sound. They really didn't. They didn't sound that great. And I was just like, yikes, oh mania. I didn't appreciate that. Um, like I said, the acting was awkward. And some parts were drawn out a little too much. You can go check it out. I still would say go check it out. Just to support. I don't know if like the views count or whatever, whatever. I think it's on BET Plus. But I watched it on like some Amazon account. A Mother's Love. Yeah. I was surprised. Do you hear that damn dog barking? Jeez Louise. Anything else I want to say about Funky Dineva was in it. He did a pretty great job. The actor who was playing like this like Suge Knight type character, his acting, and I think he's an actor or like a producer or something, his acting wasn't that great. After I like realized what was going on, I was like, oh, your acting isn't, it's not that cute. And then I know Candy like pulled inspiration from her actual life, and I feel like we need a little bit more backstory because it just seemed like the mother was just throwing out allegations. Because then at the end of the play, we find out, spoiler alert, we find out that Candy's boyfriend is like very wealthy or has, signed a deal and became very wealthy, and he was able to pay this debt that the mother needed, which I probably wouldn't have done. It was just like, child, please, you're gonna call me all types of broke. Well, I'm gonna show you broke. Anyways, it was interesting. What would I give out of 10? I probably would give it like a 6 out of 10. The music is really good. There's actually a soundtrack on Spotify. I'm gonna go check that out later in the week. Because some of the songs were hitting. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the songs were kicking it, popping it, and dipping it. But some of them, in some moments, are just like way too drawn out. It's like, let's wrap this up. This is about like, a 10-minute. It just seemed like it wasn't 100% professional. Like a crisp cookie cutter. I'm not saying like it has to be so like perfect, but like it could have been a little bit more tidy with the writing and the time limit. All right, so when I come back, I'm gonna take a quick break, and pay some bills, and we're gonna listen to our sponsor for the Dare Show podcast. And when I come back, I want to read some of the reviews because that's where the money's at, honey. All right, thank you for sticking around. Welcome back to the Dare Show podcast. Let's read some reviews for what's it called? Mother's Love? Okay, A Mother's Love. The show was 2 hours, and I was just like, yeah, we gotta put it down to like 1:45. There's like 15 minutes we could have shaved off. Definitely. Now, overall, we have 2.5 stars on Amazon. Let's read some of the reviews. This one's called Boring Poor Writing. I finally got a chance to look at this on BET Plus, and I was extremely disappointed. This play dragged. It was very boring, and the music wasn't that good. I think the music was pretty good. I remember on the show when she said Tyler Perry. Here we go. Tyler Perry called her for a few times about the play, and I can see why, because his writing is horrible, and so is hers. She must have taken a page out of his book. It just wasn't what I expected. It wasn't what I expected either. And the fact that this was like gonna go, I just like caught a glimpse of this next one. The fact that this was gonna go on the road, it was just like, oh girl. First, this one is called Bad. ... It sucks. First, I'm glad that Kenny put her feelings into the play. I wonder how Mama Joyce felt about it being loosely based about their relationship. Bad part for me. I tried to watch this play the other week, but it was horrible. I could tell it was rushed, and maybe it's because I watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. The singing was bad. Oh, jeez. I know, Eddie Levert, he was a little bit older at the time, still is, he's older now. Like, his singing wasn't that great. It was like something was going on with him. Shirley Murdoch's singing was really good. There's a couple of songs she really stood out, especially that I'm going to call it Beehive song or whatever it was called with the group that she did. This next one is called Don't Recommend. Candy cannot sing. Hurts my ears. This play just dragged on and on and on, etc. It was entirely too much unnecessary singing and sounded terrible. I don't need a song every 2 minutes. It was boring and not funny. The mother got on my nerves for sure, and her manipulation, guilt tripping, and unnecessary nagging. I don't think there was a song every 2 minutes. I know it's a musical, so I'm not shocked at that, but I don't think there was a song at the end, I was kind of over the singing, definitely, because it was like, okay, the end of the play is now, okay, and y'all are still singing. Let's wrap this up. Nice to see familiar faces. This one is a 3 out of 5. It was okay. I was happy to see familiar faces in the play. I love Miss Shirley Murdoch and Mr. Eddie Levert. They are legends in the game. Would I watch it again? Probably not, but I'd love to see Candy and Todd on their grind. Now, all of these are like from this year and last year. Not 5 out of 5. Didn't expect this. Can't believe I never heard about this play until today. It was good. Candy and her cast did a great job. Don't waste your time. I saw a lot of familiar faces from the plays, but plus Candy is in it, and I was so excited. I cut it short at 34 minutes. The script and the acting are terrible. I was disappointed, and I tried to act like it. Portia's in it. Her acting. This may have been the worst play I've ever seen. I am so disappointed. Jeez Louise. Portia's in it, and her acting is okay. I wouldn't. I don't have anything to say. Portia's singing is not. Somebody said it was a total waste of time. Oh, that was the last one. Shaking my head in disbelief. It gave me the laugh I needed. 5 out of 5. Was that shade? So yeah, so go check out, if you would like, A Mother's Love on BET Plus or Amazon. But the soundtrack is out. I would definitely go listen to the soundtrack. I know that Mother's Love is really good. There's a duet with Shirley and Eddie called Then and Now that was really good. Like I said, I keep saying that, like, trio of the old ladies, not the old ladies, but the older group. Shirley, the lady from Tyler Perry, and then this other lady sounded really great. The ending song with Q and Candy sounded really good. Those are the only ones that really stood out to me. And I think I'm done with this episode of the Dare Show podcast. Let me know if you watched it or if you went to go see A Mother's Love. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Now, I'm going to have another podcast, another episode coming out because I did say I wanted to talk about Carrie Underwood's Cry Pretty. That whole album will be the song of the week. I love that album. I hope you guys all check that out. Check out the album and my review. It is the 3rd anniversary, so take a listen and then take a little time to enjoy the podcast. You know what is so funny? I was watching The View and I didn't know they were doing this all season, but since Meghan McCain isn't there, they're auditioning all these different Republican women. And I don't like that idea, but this last Republican woman, the previous one that came on Monday, Whoopi didn't even like introduce her. They just got straight to the topics. I was just like, oh, okay. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll be back next week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but we'll be back next week. Shout out to you. Leave a comment. Please leave a comment. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like the video or, whatever. If you would like to, that's wonderful. If not, stay your shady ass away. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for listening. Thank you. And I'll be back next week on the Dare Show podcast.